pretty unlucky with the weather when we arrived in Tokyo, but nonetheless we ventured out to have dinner at Ichiran. We had to wait about 45 minutes, but this was honestly so worth going. Payment and ordering is done via vending machine, and if you're not familiar with the seating arrangements here as well, there's basically individual booths that you can sit at, and it just feels very inclusive and solo travel friendly.
Thanks so much.
I feel like human interaction here is really kept down to the bare minimum, which can be really great for some people. I really enjoyed how quick and efficient service was here, and honestly, just with all the coupons and everything, they just managed to get everything right. I don't know how they do it. This bowl of ramen was genuinely so comforting on especially such a rainy night, and it's so nice to have the real thing in Japan rather than eating it out of a pack. We only planned to go to TeamLab Planets on this trip, and it was such a fun, immersive art experience. I loved how interactive it was, and if I can give you one tip, it's to read the exhibit descriptions, please. I felt like a lot of people ignored this for the gram and felt like it was a bit of a shame to miss the artist's intention behind the exhibits, but regardless, it was super amazing, and remember to wear pants that roll up to your knees if you're going to go. After TeamLabs, we headed over to Tsukiji Outer Market. Not gonna lie, I fully expected this place to be a tourist trap, and I definitely still think it was, but there were so many ceramic shops around here, which I've never heard anybody talk about. Maybe it's just something that I'm really into, but this was honestly so amazing, and there were quite a few scattered throughout the market, so highly recommend checking them out if you're around there. I thought the prices were genuinely so reasonable for the kind of art that they were producing. I genuinely saw a Wagyu skewer for $50 Australian, and honestly, I just think it's a bit of a rip-off. I understand if you want to do it as a tourist, but it's not for me. I did love this flattened biscuit thing that this shop was doing with octopus and shrimp, and it was honestly so tasty. It was a bit of a scramble to actually pay for it, but so worth it. We then headed over to Amigo to have Japanese cheesecake, but unfortunately they don't sell anything less than one whole cheesecake. But they do have a baby option where they have some cheesecake, cream and custard wrapped in a really thin crepe, which was really delicious.
I like the cream. It has very distinct cream, I feel like, that Asian countries have.
We headed to Agasan to have fried sandwiches, and I had seen this all over my Instagram, but in retrospect I would honestly tell you to veer away from this place as it's just so overhyped. It was busy, the shop was small, so we had to line up across the road near a park. We fell for the Give a Google review to get a free original fried sandwich thing, which honestly should have been the indicator to turn away. We ended up ordering the Shiny Muscat original fried sandwich and also the natto one, but we ended up throwing about like one whole sandwich away, which was such a waste. The natto one, however, was really good, so if you really do want to try this place, I'd recommend going for the savoury options instead.
The original one, which is just whipped cream.
went to Character Street, which is located in the First Avenue Tokyo Station, and honestly this was just so exciting. It made my inner child just so happy seeing all the different like characters and like animes out there. Honestly, just so lovely. If you're looking for some good, I guess like licensed toys and things like that, like Tomika, and there was also Spirited Away plays, there was Snoopy, there was Miffy. Honestly, I would highly recommend going here. We then had dinner at the MUJI Diner, and I didn't really know what to expect, but if anything, it exceeded my expectations. We ended up ordering pasta from here, and I ended up really liking Mike's dish, which was a seasonal one unfortunately, but it was a creamy tomato and oyster mushroom pasta with grilled salmon, and I ended up getting the Japanese carbonara, which was still delicious, but yeah. Starting our morning off a little bit later in the morning. I feel like I might be getting sick, so that's really great. We got some natto from Lawson's, which I really like. I'm really enjoying that right now. Got some eggs, some seaweed, some yogurt, and some coffee. Mike's just gone to another level in the hotel to go and heat up the rice. Something that I thought might be worth pointing out was with these receipts, there could be a coupon. So we've got a 50 yen coupon for a selection of drinks, and I think that also includes this. So I'm not entirely sure how the vouchers work, but it might be something worth looking out for if you go to Japan. So if you're curious about what natto basically looks like, you get a mustard sachet and some soy sauce, and it basically sits under this film, which you just need to take off. Today we're having it with some seaweed, like a slimy kind of texture. That looks so good. Being in Tokyo, we definitely had to go to the Shibuya crossing, so of course we had a look there, and it honestly was so busy. A lot smaller in person. And unfortunately, because of Halloween, the statue of Hachiko was actually down or covered up, so yeah, it was a bit of a shame, but still glad that we went around the area to check it out. If there is one shop that I could recommend you go to in Shibuya, it is this shop. It's a ramen shop, and the noodles are freshly made and cooked in front of you. They also do really crispy tempura, so if you're a fan of that, highly recommend. I ordered the hot udon with grated yam and boiled egg, and it was honestly so delicious that I will go back to here again and again if I could. For dinner, we made our way to Manten Sushi, which is located inside a renovated tunnel. It's pretty cool because you can see the cross-section view of the bridge's viaduct, so it's a pretty hard to find location, but also very beautiful inside. This restaurant has honestly made its rounds on Instagram, and I've seen really good reviews but also bad reviews as well. My take on it is that it's really good. It's fresh, and for the price that you pay for this place, to get 26 dishes I think is actually quite good value. There were only a few things that I didn't really enjoy, which was like the monkfish liver, the cod roe, and the abalone like gonads. I think it can be quite rude, from what I understand, in Japanese culture to not eat everything that you're given. So definitely something to be kept in mind, because I did see the chef give a bit of a stank eye to somebody who turned it away. So I'm very grateful for Mike, who helped me out. But yeah, something to be mindful of. Really close to Golden Gai, so one night we actually went to Golden Gai just to have a bit of a look around and ended up having ramen. It's mainly filled with bars in this area, so finding food was not quite easy, but we ended up finding this ramen place which served up some pretty decent stuff. On our last day in Tokyo, we had breakfast at Nakau, and this set probably cost like something like $5 and it was such good value. I love this place to bits. We then spent the rest of our day in Asakusa, where we went through all the markets and had a look at all these little like cute trinkets and jackets and things, and just snacked on whatever we could find or whatever we thought fancied us. This Warabi mochi store though, I don't know what it's called, but this was honestly so good, so highly recommend looking out for it if you're around the area.
Singapore in Chinatown.
Came across this matcha cafe which specialized in matcha from Fuji, and it was honestly so good. You can change how strong the matcha is in your drinks as well. The matcha cream puffs were really good, same as the matcha latte, which we upgraded into a stronger matcha flavor, and Mike really enjoyed their matcha beer. For dinner we had Tsukemen, which we had never heard of before, but you basically dip your noodles inside a sauce, and this was really good, so I'm really glad that we tried something new in Tokyo on our last night.